Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast. All right, guys, welcome to a very special Sunday podcast here. Got a story here I'm going to be talking on the show here about how the White House is now deploying transgender Jeopardy champion Amy Schneider to condemn scary parental rights and education laws. What? This just, the other day, yesterday, believe it or not, that the White House, literally, actually, a few days ago, this past Thursday, guys, welcomed transgender Jeopardy champion Amy Schneider to the briefing room as part of their recognition of Transgender Day of Visibility. Oh, they actually have a day of this now? Transgender Day? Oh, God. Anyway, guys, Amy Schneider literally stepped up to the briefing room podium after visiting the White House with a second gentleman, Doug Hoffman, excuse me. And she actually put this on Twitter. She made a tweet about this, guys, saying that I know I haven't been posting a lot on here. Thank God. Well, that's my words, guys. But I've been traveling all over the country these past few weeks. This morning, for instance, we're getting ready to visit, well, the White House. It's hard to believe this is really happening. Oh, okay. Well, it's hard to believe that I'm starting to see transgenderness become a thing in this society here in America. It's disgusting. It's appalling. I don't support this. And I did put a post out, guys, on a few Facebook group pages about this topic, and I've gotten some hefty responses, which I will plug into the show, about how people actually support this garbage. It's disgusting, guys. You know, I made a whole show about this just yesterday on my show with Disney World becoming woke on transgenderness, you know? I mean, you want to support it as an individual, go ahead. But don't try to, to push this as a thing. Especially on young children. Because I think it's disgusting. Anyway, guys, more on the article here that Schneider did not meet with President Joe Biden, the White House confirmed. Schneider, a man who is living as a woman, took the crown for the highest earning female Jeopardy contestant in this past December, before losing his 40-game streak in January of this past year. Now, standing in the briefing room, Schneider specifically condemned recent legislation passed in Republican state legislators to protect female sports in schools and prevent teachers from pushing a transgender agenda in the classroom. And that's what this whole ordeal at the White House was. You know, they're trying to push this, guys. They're trying to push it. They're trying to, you know, they're trying to make it a thing. You know, it's really disgusting that we've become a nation that's literally pushing this fucking agenda. Literally. Like, are they pushing it to push it? Or do they really want attention? I think it's a little bit of both, but I think it's more for attention than the actual push, you know, in the agenda, guys, if that kind of makes sense. We do have a sound clip here of Amy Schneider, you know, the he-she, right? Which it is. It's a he-she. You know, back in the day, we used to call men that dressed up as women he-she's, or women that dressed up as men's she-he's, right? That's what we used to call them back then. But, we can't call them that anymore because it's offensive. The sheep out there will get offensive. Bah! Right? I mean, come on. Check this out, guys. A sound clip here of Amy Schumer, Schreiner, literally taken to the podium at the White House this past Thursday, speaking on transgenderness in America today. Check this out.
I'm gonna shift. Amy, do you wanna tell them why you're on campus?
Yeah, no, it's International Transgender Day of Visibility, and you know, the White House was good enough to invite me here and be visible, I suppose. And I'm just really, really honored to be here and really grateful that this is being celebrated and that the trans people are being celebrated in a place like this. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Amy. We're so thrilled to have you, and you know, you're wearing your Easter pink, so it's looking good.
Yeah.
We coordinated.
Do you want to comment on the bills we've seen around the nation?
They're really scary, and some of them in particular that are denying medical services to trans youth. Those are life-saving medical treatments, and they will, you know, these bills will cause the deaths of children, and that's really sad to me, and it's really frightening.
Do you see yourself doing any activism or lobbying against any of these efforts at the state level?
It's not at the moment. I am trying to figure out where that sort of advocacy and activism fits into my life. You know, everything's changed in the last few months, and I'm still playing it by ear. I would like to do more of it, but for right now, I'm just not sure what the right and effective way to do that would be.
And when do you return to the Tournament of Champions?
It will be airing, I'm told, in November. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there more actions you think the Biden administration should take to protect trans rights?
No comment on that. I don't want to get involved in that. Yeah.
What are you hoping your visit to the White House accomplishes today?
I think just the same thing that I've been accomplishing, which is just, again, being a trans person out there that isn't monstrous and isn't threatening and is just a normal person like we all are. So the more that people like me can be seen, the harder it is to sustain the myths that are kind of driving a lot of this hate and fear.
What's your message to students living in those states and young children?
Hang in there. I don't think that this is... I think that this backlash right now is temporary. I think that that the country overall is on our side and getting more so every day. And I think it's not going to be too long before these sorts of bills are seen as a thing of the past and no longer what we want to be as a country.
Did you get guys? I've got to take her. She's got a busy schedule.
One more question, Amanda.
All right. You hear this garbage, guys? Complete garbage. Hate, fear. They want to pass laws to give medical types, medicine to children. Cross-gender children. Medication that will save their lives. Let me tell you something. You know what's going to save that child's life? From learning the fucking truth. That's what's going to save that child's life. Not medication. The medication is going to make it worse. It's It's gonna morph their brain cells into everything else. This is disgusting, folks. This is what we want to become as a nation. That he said in the briefing room. But I think they had one question here. I'll try to plug it into the show, because I'm actually kind of curious of what that last question was, and I'm sure you, the listening base out there, is very, very interested of what they had said.
And did she get to meet with the president? Did she go to the Oval Office?
Not the president today, but she is slated to, you just left the second gentleman. Yeah.
To meet with Shane's families.
And she's also doing a roundtable. Yes.
What does say?
We will send some notes. Thank you, friends. Great.
Yeah. They're actually doing a round table. Yeah. Don't care two shits. You know, and then this is what Scheider said about the Republican bills, saying that it's really scary. They're really scary. Apparently, like Florida's parental rights and education legislation signed into law this week by Governor Ron DeSantis. Thank God for Ron DeSantis stepping it up. You know, which they're calling him a bully for doing this. They're calling Ron DeSantis the bully for stepping up for his state in Florida against this disgusting, erratic type of behavior in American society today. Disgusting. And then Shiner argued that some of the bills limiting transgender transition services for children were preventing transgender youth from receiving life-saving medical treatments that I just had mentioned a few moments before. It's preventing transgender youth. Oh, okay. So as a parent, you're going to allow your child to just like do what they damn well please, right? That's what's wrong with our society. There's no parenting or less parenting being involved. I mean, agree with me or not, right? Am I maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But maybe we should have more parenting in this country and less listening to liberal Uncle Sam. I mean, right? Agree with me or not, right? This is Ron DeSantis literally briefing in his comments on all this crap. Check this out, guys. Ron DeSantis stepping up to the plate in America. A governor that's actually doing what's right by the people, folks. Literally.
You know, we signed the Parents' Rights in Education bill. It's interesting when, like, a Disney-owned ABC would put that out on tweet. They'd say, Governor DeSantis signs bill to prohibit instruction in sexual identity and gender identity in some grades. Some grades. Why would they say some grades instead of K through 3? It's just amazing if you're trying to inform the... So you saw a lot of this. But then for Disney to come out and put a statement and say that the bill should have never passed and that they are going to actively work to repeal it, I think one was fundamentally dishonest, but two... Yeah,
we'll go back to that clip here, which I actually plugged in towards the episode that I had just the other day on Disney. You know, what relating this whole ordeal, you know? And then you have, liberal people such as Amy Schneider that's actually trying to push for this crap. Push it. Yeah. They're trying to pump it. Like the sneaker, remember the pump? You pump the sneaker, pump. Yeah, I don't know if you kids know that today, but I'm telling you, it was a hell of a fucking shoe back then. But folks, these bills, like I said, and this is coming from Schneider herself, these bills will cause the deaths of children, and that's really sad to me and frightening. Why are these bills going to cause deaths of children? Why? Because as a taxpayer, we should have to fund for people that want to live this lifestyle? So you're telling me as a taxpayer, I should have to put my hard-earning money to people that want to live like this? No, I shouldn't have to do that. Because it's by choice, folks, not privilege. I shouldn't have to put my taxes to stuff like this, to bills like this, to medication like this. I shouldn't have to do that. You want to live like that? Go ahead. But if you have to take medication because you're really a man and you want to be a woman, vice versa, if you're a woman, you really want to be a man, and you have to take medication in order to keep those hormones at a level where they're supposed to be in order to be that other type of sex, then you should put up the bill, not me as a taxpayer, right? Am I right or wrong? Literally. And then when Schneider was asked if Biden administration should take more action on transgender rights, Schneider replied, "No comment at that. I don't want to get involved with that." Oh, you don't want to get involved? Why? Why don't you want to get involved? See, folks, these people are smart. They're smart. They know what the hell they're doing. This is the monstrous agenda by the far left. This is what they want to orchestrate in this country. Transgenderness of chaos. That's what I'm calling it. More on this topic right after these words, guys. Don't go anywhere. Patriot Unfiltered Raw.
The iPhone has all kinds of apps. There are apps to pick the perfect gift. There are apps to pick the perfect wall color. Apps for heading outdoors. And apps for staying indoors. There are apps for finding a hotel. Or just finding your car. There are now over 100,000 apps for just about anything, only on the iPhone.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show of shows. Welcome back to the Patriot Angle podcast. Guys, we're talking about a really, really crazy topic here on the show. Transgenderness here in America. Just where it's going and where the liberal machine wants it to go, right? Now, I brought it to the show earlier in the episode today on tonight about Amy Schneider, right? The cross-gender Jeopardy, host of a host, right? That when Schneider basically said that it was good to get out in front of cameras to show the world that transgender people are not threatening and they're not monstrous type of people. And it's just normal. It's just a normal thing, right? It's normal. These people are just normal like we all are. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, here's my question on the normal, right? How in the hell, and people are going to ask me, Michael, why are you going this way? Why are you talking like this? Because I have to. Because as a society, why are we labeling more than a third gender? When I grew up, folks, right? You put things together like peas and carrots and broccoli and cauliflower. I mean, you get the memo, right? There's two sexes, folks, man and a woman. Why are we discussing that there should be a third sex? Why? I mean, that's like messing with God, right? That's like ping on that one. That's like messing with with the higher power, right? And, why did I just put that into play right now? Because it has to, folks. It has to. The more that people like me can be seen, the harder it is to sustain the myths that are kind of driving this hate and fear, Schneider had basically said in this quote here, right? This whole story. That he urged transgender children and now they're pushing us for Republican-led states. Now they're trying to push this for conservatism of America. That he urged transgender children in Republican-led states to be patient, predicting that the bills would be a thing of the past. That, folks, they want to push this like it's, like it's a big, huge event. Hang in there, he says. I think that this backlash is temporary. I think that our country overall is on their side and getting more so every day. He posted. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess it's I guess it's okay to live like this, right? I guess as a taxpayer, we got to pay their fucking medication to keep their hormones at a level where they're supposed to be. Not me. Not me. I'll fight this issue every damn day of the week. I will. And I'll fight it to the end until it's not a thing anymore. Because like I said, as a taxpayer, I shouldn't have to foot the freaking bill for people that need medication. You want me to pay money into the Medicare and the Medicaid system? Sure, no problem. But my taxes will be going to vulnerable people like senior citizens that actually need medication. That's where I don't have a problem as a taxpayer paying for my taxes for programs such as that. Let's talk about that more. How come the media isn't talking about that? As you can see, guys, I'm a little heated up because this is a little barbaric. More on the mega governor Ron DeSantis, literally commenting on this whole transgender world here in America. Check this out, guys.
And then for them to say they're going to actively work to repeal substantive protections for parents as a company that is supposedly marketing its services to parents with young children, I think they crossed the line. And, people ask me, kind of about, their posture on the bill. I said, you know what? If we would have put in the bill that you were not allowed to have curriculum that discussed the oppression of the Uyghurs in China, Disney would have endorsed that in a second.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they would have endorsed that. Ron DeSantis literally commenting on the transgenderness, commenting on the woke companies such as Disney and other companies, big wigs in that specter. Yeah, because all these big companies are embedded with China. They're embedded with the liberal hysteria in this country. They feed off of it. They're like roaches. They love it. They're the real dividers of this nation. Folks, this crap has to end. And people like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the rest of the liberal nutjobs in government want a transgender day of visibility. They do. They want it. They feed off of it. They'd rather talk about transgenderness than more important key factors in America. Speaking of Biden, Biden came out just the other day and says that transgender people are made in the image of God. Oh, God, he did not go there. Tell me he did not go there. They're people made of the image of God? Yeah, President Joe Biden said that transgender people are the image of God. An announcement this past Thursday on Transgender Day of Visibility. And then to quote this here, folks, To everybody celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility, I want you to know that your president sees you. Jill, Kamala, Doug, our entire administration sees you for who you are, made in the image of God and deserving of dignity, respect, and support, Biden said in a video statement. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said that. Biden, folks, a professed Catholic, seems to be referencing Catholic Church teaching that all humans are made in the image and likeness of the higher power. That is a reference that the Catholic the Catholic Church teaches. That's what they do. That's referencing. You won't see that in a Christian church. I'm telling you right now. The church's faith also teaches male and female. He created them as well. Oh, so he created men and women that we know, right? Yeah, of course. But he also created transgenderness? No, he didn't create that. That is a new society of liberal nutjobs that portray this psychoticness, this delusion. Wasn't created by the higher power. It was created by liberal nutjobs in this country. That's what it was created by. Tell the real truth, Biden. Fabrication of lies. That's what the administration is. And then Biden also called out this past Thursday, that anti-transgender state laws that have passed, mainly in Florida, right? He's labeling Florida, Ron DeSantis' new bill, right? Which a lot of people are coming to calling it Don't Say Gay bill. He mentioned this. That the law, however, makes no mention of gay or transgender children. Instead, the law prohibits kindergarten through third grade teachers from discussing sexuality with their students. I agree with that. They shouldn't. Folks, they shouldn't. As a teacher, you should not teach children as young as kindergarten through third grade students sexuality of transgenderness. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. And I know a lot of teachers, folks, both on a professional and a personal scale, that would agree with me on this issue. And then also, too, he goes into saying, for example, the onslaught of anti-transgender state laws attacking you and your families is simply wrong, Biden says. Oh, they support this. Of course they do. Of course they do. This administration is standing up for you against all these hateful bills, Biden says. Hateful? How are they hateful? How is Ron DeSantis committing some type of hatred in the state of Florida? How is that hatred? I tell you, folks, we got a couple minutes, more than a couple minutes. Producer Eric, we about another 10 minutes left on the show? No, 10 minutes on the show, guys. I want to get into these last couple of topics here relating this issue here we're talking about on the podcast. That now, folks, the HHS becomes the first federal agency. Oh, God, don't tell me. The HHS, folks, has become the first federal agency to fly trans pride flag. This really is a thing, isn't it? Really. Right below the American flag at the Department of Health and Human Services just this past Thursday are now flying the trans pride flag. Oh my goodness. I've never thought as a country that any, even a federal department such as the Department of Health and Human Services, or any federal agency for that matter, would actually show support for a transgender activist agenda. Seriously, folks. A tweet coming out of Secretary Xavier, right? We all know who that is, right? On this International Transgender Day of Visibility. I say to our transgender communities, we see you, we stand with you, and we will be there for you. For the first time in history, the transgender flag is flying in front of a federal agency at HHS Gov's Hubert Humphrey building. Oh my God, he put the pictures on his tweet and everything. And then oh God, you know he's got to put up with a secondary tweet on Twitter here that now he's saying that transgenderness or discrimination against transgender people has no place in this country. At HHS Gov, will continue to do everything in our power to protect the health care of transgender people, including their access to gender affirming care. They want to push this, folks. They want to push, as taxpayers all over the great country of America, that we have to foot the bill for medication for transgenderness. Folks, this is not discrimination. This is not hate. We as taxpayers shouldn't have to be forced to pay out of our taxes crap like this. We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't. Transgender Day of Visibility? Give me a fucking break. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail on this. I'll probably get some comments here. Speaking of the comments here, right? I did mention earlier in the podcast episode today that, oh God, I've gotten some comments here, and I'll read them off here. I won't give names for, obviously privacy issues, because even though I don't support these people's views, I don't. I don't support these people's views. I don't. But, I do have, align myself with patriotic Facebook groups that don't support this crap either. A post saying, going woke here. And I'll read this post here before we close out the podcast episode. Okay? And if anybody has comments or concerns, please leave them in the comment section. We're going to have a Q&A, folks, as well as the article I read on the on this podcast here, the article I made here on the podcast episode with Amy Schneider, right, the cross-gender woman, that man, whatever the hell you want to call it, that was in the White House just past Thursday, commenting and talking about transgenderness in America. I'll put that in the show notes where you can read the actual full article, because it's also posted on Breitbart News. But yeah, on this issue, folks, before we close it out here, I've gotten some really, really interesting posts here that I made here. And one post basically saying, going woke, treating people decently and accepting them as they are. Take your bigotry everywhere else. Going woke is treating people decently and accepting them as they are. That's the definition of going woke. Oh, okay. Whatever mindset that you live in, good luck to you, right? Another one saying facts. Another comment coming in saying, y'all need to brush up on your history. You suffer too much of mental illness. I completely agree with that one. You know? One here saying, it's weird to think that freedom of speech still exists in America. They can talk about whatever they want. If you don't like it, don't listen. I agree with that. I agree with that on a 50-50 scale. That freedom of speech still does exist in America. But if we don't want to listen to this transgenderness of bullshit, we shouldn't have to be forced to listen to it. And you shouldn't have to force a freaking teacher in any school in America to push this sick, deranged type of agenda on school children from the age of 5 through the age of at least 12, in my personal opinion. Because that crap is disgusting. And that's my closing statement on this issue, folks. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Hope somebody learned something from my wording. Because every part of my episodes has a meaning behind it. It's the message to America of where we should be going as a nation. Because right now, folks, we are on survival mode. Literally survival mode. To save our nation from evil upon evil. Thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you on the next one. Tomorrow night, folks, we're going to have a special guest joining us from the Twitch community, from Twitch, the Twitch app. So join us tomorrow evening, guys, at 8 p.m. live on Twitch. Should be a great show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.